Hi, is this you? I am tired of all the existing built-in designs that everyone else is using. How do I make my PowerPoint look unique? Or how do I create our corporate PowerPoint standard look? How do I standardize everything on my presentation? The secret solution in PowerPoint is the Slide Master. I'm going to coach you how to create unique looks from scratch that no one else has shown. This video will also show strategies for consistency and speed in managing transitions and bullet points and animations. Stay tuned and get powered up. Hi, this is Les McCarter. If you're asking, what is Slide Master mode? You need to watch our previous video on the link above to get a foundation of this magical PowerPoint tool. The reason is that this advanced class builds upon those concepts. So, what is this masterclass about? I'm going to show you how to create a PowerPoint theme from a blank presentation. You will be in control of everything. Along the way, I will show you Power Up Training's specialty to guarantee a design look that none of your peers have ever used before. It will truly be unique. If this is your first time watching Power Up Training, you are about to find out that we just don't provide videos with keystrokes, but instead I share my years of experience to you through coaching. Subscribe for future videos to make my expertise your expertise for free. So, why should you design from scratch? I suggest that you should not do this. Most of us are not graphic designers, so you should stick to Microsoft's suggested design themes. But if you decide to deviate from these standards, recognize it's going to require a fair amount of time and some meticulous care. Still, there are great reasons to do so, such as to speed up the presentation creation process, or if you're the corporate communication department that must create that branded presentation for your organization to use as a template. So, over the next 20 minutes, I will coach you through working from a blank presentation. We'll use PowerPoint's slide design tool to create a unique look. We'll do a complete makeover of the design elements. And lastly, look at how to save your work of art for easy reuse or to distribute as a template. So let's go and get powered up by creating a Slide Master template from scratch. Here we go. We're currently in a blank presentation. Let's take a look at Slide Master by clicking on View and then going on over and clicking on Slide Master. And on the left side of our screen are all the various Slide Master layouts, which are the variations that are tied to each of the layouts. At the very top is the parent or the master of the master slides, and everything is related to what happens at the top. For more information, see our previous video. I'm going to scroll back up and we're going to see that if we hover our mouse over each of the layouts, you can see it pop up the name of that specific layout. And if there are any slides that are tied that are used, since this is just a brand new presentation, it's not surprising that none of these additional layouts have any slides in use. Although by default, the master title slide is first created and you can see, sure enough, there is slide number 1. To recap, the parent master slide controls the foundation of all the settings for the below children slides, which are specifically named layout slides, and they are variations of the parent master slide. Some of the items are typically standard, such as the title section and the footer, but most layouts customization is tied around the inside content items that PowerPoint calls placeholders. This placeholder could be tables, charts, text, photos. See the faded icons for hints of what might be held in this placeholder. Let's try this out by creating a new layout slide by clicking Insert Layout. See how it creates one with the standard items like the title and the footer item, but it is empty in the middle. So we can keep track of this. I'm going to rename this by clicking the rename icon, and we'll name this Power Up Test Layout. Now, let's add two different types of placeholder. Note that you must be in the Slide Master menu to be able to insert placeholders. I will add Online Image Placeholder, and then I'm going to drag on my slide the location of where I want the images to be located. Next, let's add in a text placeholder doing the same positioning within the slide. See how there are area relationship guides for when I'm putting this on the page? It is subtly indicating that I am centered on the page, or my location in relation to the other placeholder, or to the center line of the page. It does a great help to make sure you get it just right. Now, let's check out how these two placeholders work. We need to exit out of the Slide Master view, and one way is to click on Slide Master menu and choose Close Master Slide View. Now, let's add a new slide by clicking New Slide. And next, attach our newly created layout called Power Up Test Layout. Boom! Our new two placeholders layout page is applied. First, let's add a title called The Title, and then click on the icon, and it's nice to see the default instructions there. In the stock images, I will choose a random photo of a stopwatch and insert it in. Once again, boom, the image is in the designated spot. Now let's add some text in the adjoining placeholder, conveniently titled Click to Add Text. With that, we now understand the relationship of adding specific types of placeholders to a layout defined in the master slide to create a consistent theme. Okay, let's start from scratch with a new blank presentation and build our complete master slide from scratch. With an empty canvas, other than the default placeholders, we can go into the Slide Master view and click on Slide Master, and we'll work with the parent master slide. Note that it is very vanilla. At this point, you would use your artistic graphic designer to create the visual look for your presentation theme. They would choose a color scheme, font families, and artistic backgrounds. The problem is that I am a Microsoft Office expert, not a designer. So I will cheat with some help from Microsoft. If you have a recent version of PowerPoint, especially Office 365, you can lean on the design ideas to get your inspiration. To do this artistic power-up training cheat trick, exit out of Slide Master view and create a new generic slide. On the slide, we need to add title and some text. It needs that to be able to create some design ideas for us. Then, as long as we're in the Home menu, click the Design Ideas. For you PowerPoint 2016 users, you need to be in the Design menu to get your design ideas. From here, we can scroll through and even test out different styles and decide whether that look would be a great graphic theme to add to our homemade presentation style. Some of these are interesting, but I'd hate to have them on every single slide. So we want something that is distinctive, but doesn't dominate. This is a unique look that leaves the left side of our slide open for content. Let's work with this stylistic graphic image as the foundation for our Slide Master theme. The title and text placeholders are clickable and manageable elements. But what about our images? Click and click and click, and they don't seem to get highlighted. They seem to be untouchable. Let's close the distracting design ideas and figure out where these objects are located. Often, unclickable items are attached to the background of the slide. So let's go there. I will click on the Design menu and choose Format Background. Whoa, it says Solid Fill, not some graphic image. And if we change the color, look, the graphic elements are still there. So they aren't attached to the background. Where are they? Well, it turns out that these design idea elements are locked objects and can't be modified, but they can be selected and copied. However, the only way to get to them is by way of the selection pane. Go to Home, drop the dialog box from Select, and click Selection Pane, which shows up on the right side. Now, as we click on the strangely named objects, they show up selected in our main workspace. But even when selected, they still can't be resized or moved. That's okay. Here's our strategy. We want to select these design elements and copy them to our slide master. I will turn off the two content placeholders by clicking on the little visible icon to off, and then click back into our slide workspace and use the keyboard shortcut of Control+A to select all, and then I will do a Control+C to copy all that is selected. Now that we have these objects in our clipboard, we'll switch back to the slide master view, and we're going to make sure that we are on the parent master at the top. We'll click on it, and then we're going to click inside the workspace in the middle and do a paste by way of Control-V. And once again, boom, the elements are on the parent master and all the children layouts below all at once. Oops. On closer inspection, I do have one issue. The new graphic look has stepped on top of the surface of my slide master parent. No problem. With the objects still selected, I can move them to the back layer by clicking on Home and then the Arrange icon and Send to Back. Now all the placeholder items reappear on the top layer. I'm close, but I have an issue with that green triangle at the top of the slide. I think it will distract from my titles, so I want to remove it. Still, I can't click on it in the workspace, but I need to hunt around by working within the selection pane. It will get highlighted when I click on it. And once selected, I can then do a Control-X to delete it out. And of course, it then gets removed from all the children's layouts below. If you have a professionally created set of graphics, you would have inserted them into the background with similar steps. Now let's get serious about creating our own custom look. We'll start with colors. I find this to be the best starting place as other items will be based on our color selection. Note that as we make these changes, some of our trusted tools have moved from their original location. Specifically, when in Slide Master View, there is no design menu, but you will find many of these elements under the Slide Master View. A great example is the Colors menu. Once I select the Colors drop-down menu of choices, I can drag my mouse over the different choices and get a preview of the changes to our background objects. The text still stays black, but we'll get to that once we've selected a color theme. Note that if you have a corporate color scheme, you can customize colors, but that goes beyond this video. If you want a YouTube tutorial on that, just leave a request in the comments below. I'm going to choose Marquee for our color theme. Fonts. Let's now change the font family. At the moment, we can see the default font is Calibri Light, which we see in the normal view. To make the change for the new Slide Master theme, we go back into View and Slide Master, and then on the top of the master slide itself, we're going to choose font. I'm going to scroll down and we'll select Century Gothic. Let's go back to the standard view to make sure that the change took place by checking both the title placeholder and the bullet text placeholder. So now that we have a font theme for the whole presentation, let's start to tweak individual items. Note that some of my tweaks are not for artistic reasons, but more to show you how they impact the whole presentation. They're for training purposes. Let's start with the title. I will change it to bold and italics. In real life, choose one or the other. Plus, I'm going to turn on small caps, which I find cool as it's a bit bolder, but still shows some variety in letter sizes. Next, let's choose font color, not underline color, but font color. While at the bottom, we have standard colors, we want to use the theme colors that we chose earlier on. And now you can see why we chose color themes so early on in the process. If we were to go back and change the color theme again, then these 10 theme colors would change also. And look, all the titles for the children layouts followed the new title font changes. Next, just for training purposes, we're going to change the third level font color so that I can emphasize that each of the 5 levels have the ability to control the font, the size, the color, the indentation for the whole presentation slide deck. Red is noticeable so that we can see it in this video. If you want to learn everything about bullet levels and indentation, look for our other YouTube Power Up video training just on this topic. Time to give our slide deck theme a bit more style by ditching the white background. Once again, we must be on the top master parent slide and in the slide master menu to be able to access the icon for background style. If we use the suggested color backgrounds, which we can preview, it does nothing for me. So let's select Format Background. On this dialog box, we could choose a new color from the paint can, or if you had your graphic designer background, you could drop it in as a picture. I'm instead going to use a texture fill from the drop-down menu. I can click and preview the choices. For my taste, some are a bit too bold and hide the presentation itself. Instead, I will choose the paper-like background, which is more like a background, but still a bit strong. I can fix that by raising the transparency to get a blend into a lighter look. And of course, it changes the background of all our layouts. Now, let's add a logo from a picture. I'm going to go to Insert. I'll choose Picture from this device. And on my local drive, I'll choose one of our Power Up logos. I'll click on Open. And when I do, we're going to see it comes in a little big. I'll need to resize it. And then I also want to relocate it and size it again. We'll see if we can get it to fit inside of this circle. There we go. Perfect. And we can do even more, including adding the slide transitions that happens when we give the presentation. On the parent slide, we go to the transition menu, and I'm going to choose one that we will notice when we test it out. We'll look through the list and let's go ahead and choose Dissolve. Here's something subtle. Once you add a transition, PowerPoint will indicate its existence by adding a small star by the slide. Okay, we're not going to stop there. We want to add bullet point animation. This is a big deal. Normally you have to do this slide by slide, but with Slide Master, you can apply it all at once. Here we go. Let's select all the bullet points. We'll then go up to animation. We'll choose something that we'll notice once again, just for training purposes. And we'll choose the flying in. Take a look though. When we select it, they're all coming in at one time. You see the number 1? So when they were animate, they'd be one large block. Let's fix this. I'm going to select slide level number 2. We're going to go up there and change the start from on click. And when I choose on click, all of a sudden, all those number 1s become 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, meaning that we have to click, 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 and the levels will show up one by one by one in our presentation on every single slide. Okay, let's test this. We're out of the slide master view into the standard view. I'm adding a new slide that picks up our new Style, we're going to go ahead and add some text in the title. And sure enough, there's our color in the small caps. We'll go down, and down below, we'll add in some text. I need to add in multiple bullets for us to be able to see this animation piece. So I'm going to quickly type these in, and let's see it happen. Do note, earlier we said that the third indentation of bullets should turn red. In this case here, I called it bullet 4, but it was the third indentation, and it popped up red. Let's add our title in, and once we have a title put in place, we can go ahead and run the presentation. So here we go from the beginning. There's the dissolve, and we go to the next one. Sure enough, it dissolves again. There's our title, and now we have to click once for every line that we want to pop up. But once again, if that's the way we want to do the presentation, it's great that we can do it with the Slide Master and it flows all the way through. So over the last 16 minutes, what did we do? We changed the design look by choosing new design objects. We changed the theme color. We changed the theme font. We made specific changes to the top title font, including the color. We added a logo. We added some background. We applied both slide transitions and bullet animations across all the slides. This was a lot of work. We have created a unique, one-of-a-kind presentation template that no one else has. But we shouldn't stop there. You need to go in and you can do additional formatting. For example, formatting each of the bullet lines or numbered list. You can go in there and you can make alterations to enhance or relocate the footer or slide number. You could change the slide aspect ratio. You can customize each of the specific slide layouts or add your own layouts. There are numerous things that you can do to create a very unique presentation. Lastly, you might consider going into the Slide Master and removing some of the unneeded layouts because they just seem to clutter up the pieces. So, you've done all this hard work and you want to easily access it. Simple enough. You can save the design theme for future applications as a theme. So, I'm going to switch over to the presentation style theme that we just created. And while in there, all we need to do is go to design. We'll then go and do the drop down box to see all the designs. And at the very bottom, there's something called Save Current Theme. I'm going to go ahead and save it. We're going to give it a name. We'll call this theme Power Up from Scratch Theme. Once it's saved, I then need to go back to another presentation, the one we saw moments ago, this blank. And from there, we can go up to the design menu. From the design menu, once again, we'll drop down the dialog box and we'll see under custom, there's an item that if I wait long enough, it pops up and says Power Up from Scratch Theme. Click, boom, and all the work that we just did for the previous 17 minutes is now quickly applied. That is for saving a theme for easy local use. But there's another file type called template. The template will include not only the colors, the fonts, and all the different pieces we saw moments ago, but also any specific slides that you want to create. It is also a document that is simple to be able to share with others. Let me show you an example based off some templates that I use on a regular basis. You can see I had them on my list under new, but I can also go under custom and choose the folder that says custom office templates. When I choose one of these templates, it's going to bring not only the Slide Master changes, but it's also going to create a presentation with some very specific slides. When you close this, you'll see that I actually have slides in addition to all the customizations that we saw in our previous example. To create a shareable template, you do need to do a file save as and use the file format of .potx. And if you want to put it into a folder that is easily accessible from PowerPoint, you do need to use this specific path as seen on our screen. Oh my, we covered a lot of techniques, but you're now ready to go out and create unique presentations from master slide templates. In the comments below, let me know how your new skills are working out. If this was useful, please like the video. Likes encourages me to make more free training videos for you. And if this was your first time watching our unique Microsoft Office coaching sessions, then subscribe to our Power Up Training YouTube channel and explore our various videos. Consider our free 6-part training series on how to become a power users in PowerPoint by clicking this playlist. With that, let my expertise become your expertise for free. Now, power up.